Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another challenge in Illustrator for the month of June. I can't believe how quickly the month of June passed by. I feel like it has flown right in front of my eyes. We are at our last challenge of the month, and I hope that you're going to have as much fun as I had when putting this all together. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Izzy, brand designer from Ottawa, Canada, and let's hop into it. If you want to also play along with us, design with us at the same time, maybe after this stream, if you're watching the replay, that is totally cool. You can download the kit that I have prepared for you in the description. So I actually went a little too quickly. I had this nice intro page for you because this is what we will be designing today. And if you like type just as much as I do, this will be extremely fun for you. So here in the presentation that I have made for you, document again, which you can find in the kit that I have shared with you, you can find the steps to follow right here. This one is very easy, and today we will just be making as many shapes, radial alignment features with words in order to implement into our design. I am working on a newspaper print design, and we're going to be creating a pattern with it, but you can use this feature for anything that you want. So before we hop into Illustrator, I want to say hi to my friends in the chat. So good to see you. I have Idara, who is our mod today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm seeing Carol, Sean, Oliver, Umacorn, Frank, Apura, Karen, Patrick, Susan, Robert. It is a full house today. And let's hop onto YouTube, and we have Rob Prod, we have Srinjoy, sorry if I'm not saying this right, and Rob Prod saying hello from Brazil. I love knowing where you're from, so if you want to share that in the chat, feel free to do so. Perfect. Let me just show you another image right here of what we can do. These are some examples of using the radial feature with type or words, and let's hop into Illustrator so we can just get messy and have fun. So here I am working from a newspaper grid layout that we have created in our first design challenge of the month of June. If you don't want the grid, no problem. See the layers right here panel. You can always go and click on the eye toggle and it will remove the grid. Basically, grids are there in order to help your alignment. This is a tool that I like to swear from if you want. But for this instance where we are just exploring, you don't need to have it on at the beginning. So very easy feature, but again, oh so fun. So the first thing that you need to do is type a word. I'm going to make that just a little bigger so you can all see. Like so. And the topic of my personal project with this, the newspaper, is all about design confessions, designer confessions. And I actually have the final product for you, which I will show you at the end. I'm super excited about it. So I will write, designer confessions, because there are more than one. And I will go and select a pretty font because right now it's just the Myriad Pro default. And I love the awesome serif. This is not an Adobe font. This is a font that I have bought. But if you want to explore the Adobe fonts, there is so many font families that you can have just a lot of fun with. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to make actually another one that's all caps. So if you want to just have quickly your word in all caps, you don't need to retype. You can always go to more options within your character section and your properties. And here you see the double T that are caps. You just click here and you have all caps. Now, this is a little long for a word, but that's okay. We can roll with it. I'm going to make another one in Elsa Text because, again, if you know, Elsa Text is my go-to Adobe font. So we have a lot to play with here. Let me start with this one. Going to just zoom in a little bit on this. So here again, very easy. You go to Object, Repeat, and Radial. So as you can see, it's repeating the word. You can also do this with a shape, but how cool is it to make it with a word? So it's going to repeat the word, and you can select how many you want by going up instances, as you can see, or go down, and then you can go up to even 1. Let's create a star like so. You can't really read it, but the fact that it's being created with type to me is so cool. Now I'm going to, because I like how this looks, I'm going to duplicate it, so you can just hold the Option key and slide over another design. And as you can see, there's also a dot in the middle, so you can see that circle. This is essentially where like the radial is happening. So you can also just slide out and make that circle bigger. So you can change your shape by doing so, like this. I'm going to copy that again. And I've made them very big. I'm just going to make them a little smaller so we have some room on our artboard right here. And here you go. Oh, we have Rapasin from Sao Paulo. I actually went there once and I absolutely loved it. The colors were so nice. And we have Kino from Jamaica. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We have Barbara from Music City, USA. And Carol saying, good old newspaper print is not dead. It is not dead. I love print. I mean, if you've been following my journey or even on social or Behance, I love a good print projects. So let's come back to our radial here because I got carried away when talking about print. But here, as you can say, you can move this around. And there's also this little parts here. I guess it's like the outside arrows. I don't know how you call them, but you can also move them, and this will either it will remove or add back the word. So if you wanted to have like a more organic shape, like so, see like a half circle that's happening, you could do this like so. Then you could bring this shape like that. Now, if you wanted to maybe have something a little different, like I have some examples right here of radial text design that I have done already here. I really like this one here, Editor's Letter, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's very easy. I'm just going to undo this one because it's not pretty and I don't want to use it in my design. As simple as that. I'm going to just bold this so we can see. Now, if I am trying to create something on an angle, like this one here, I would just simply start and put the word on an angle, like so. I'm gonna make that just a tiny bit smaller. Then again, making sure that my text box is selected. Going to Object, Repeat, Radial, and as you can see, and I'm just going to make that bigger, it has created this really nice star with having it on an angle like so. And I'm going to make that smaller, and I'm going to copy it because I want to play with the radial circle when it's overlaying like that. Okay, I don't know for you, but please let me know what you are thinking about this, like this shape. This is something that I personally have not seen a lot in a regular design, and this is not something that you would use in order to put text, right? This is very much something that you would have as an effect, as a background, as something to focus on if you were to do like a nice poster and maybe creating a pattern, which we will do. Now, a pattern is a very, very easy to create. Again, I think I will choose this one to create the pattern because I really like it. And you know what? I'm gonna do another one quickly with a shorter word, just so you can see. I'm gonna say Izzy. Yeah, just Izzy, actually. I actually want to also see what it does. Make it a little bigger on an angle. Quickly. I'm going off script right now, but that's okay. Radial, and I mean, how cool is this? Actually, I really like this, and I'm happy that I went off script because this is looking good. Okay, so here I will just make myself another artboard. And again, here we are just exploring. I will bring the design that I like, the radial design. Select this, go to Object, Pattern, Make. And you probably have seen this, like this is a feature that I see time and over again in a lot of different Adobe Lives from different content creators, which I absolutely adore. But I mean, how cool is it to make it? So you created a pattern with the radial and now you're creating a double pattern, a type pattern with that. That I haven't seen often. So it is super cool. I personally like, so just say okay here. And I personally like when it's not necessarily a line straight. I like when it's just a little off, like that brick by row. I absolutely love. And I also like a 3/4. Like I like when it's like offset like that. And then if you wanted to play with the height and width, you can, but I very much like how this is looking. So I'm just going to say done. And once you do this, your pattern is added in your swatches. If you don't see your swatches, let me just put it like here, you can always go to Window and then Swatches and it will appear. It is the last one that you have created. So it says new pattern. I could have given him a name and I should have giving it a name. Now, making sure that this swatch here is selected right here. Oops, I had this selected, which I don't want. I will go onto the rectangle tool and then create this pattern. How amazing is this? How cool is this looking? I mean, again, I don't know for you, but this is blowing up my mind. I love whenever I find like new things. And to be honest, just like you, if you are new to Illustrator, or maybe you are even like a pro in Illustrator and the Adobe suite, but I recently found out about this. So just goes to show you, and these are features that were there a long time ago, but I did not know that I could do all this together. And I actually got inspired by seeing some TikToks. So you never know where you can find inspiration and what it can create in return. So we have Patrick here saying super cool. We have Wolf Jam saying I love fonts, absolutely. And again, Rob Prod saying very nice. Well, thank you so much, everyone. This means a lot. So for the heck of it, why not make another one with a different one, another pattern as we have time. So, and again, the best way to learn something is with repetition. So let me make that smaller. Let's just do designer for that one. And what I would like to recreate is this one here. This one is saying editor's letter. And it almost looks like a flower, which is super fun. That's because there is a lot of instances and it's doing that full circle, but it's fun with that font that is being used and how it's being repeated. So let's do this. Like I said, just the word designer, like so. Again, object, repeat, radial. I mean, it's already doing it for me because that radial circle is small. Oh yes, and then Robert is saying, take the page to express an animera. Is this a font or are you saying animated? I actually read it very quickly as you can animate this. And again, this just blew my mind. And how cool would that be if you could animate that? Just like all the letters just coming into that circle. And what I also like about this is the era of mystery, that you know the word that it's saying, and here it's saying designer, but you can't necessarily read it. Okay, let's make another pattern with this. And I'm gonna make it smaller. So then that pattern will just hit a little different. Let me copy this artboard right here. Delete this pattern. I'm gonna make it again. Again, very easy. Select your radial object and then go to object, pattern, make, click OK. It's saying new pattern. I will say designer. There you go. Now I named my pattern properly. You always have the chance to redeem yourself. So this is great. Perfect. I'm liking this. Click done. And then making sure that this is selected, that rectangle tool. And here you go. And we have that pattern. Okay. I mean, super cool. And I want to take the time to show you how you can implement this. I just saved it. So here we have some example. I like that I created a hashtag. See, as you can see with the instances, I created a hashtag with my name. So Izzy Poirier, which is super cool. Also, if you wanted to, this is a little tricky, but you could always maybe highlight it. Can you change? Yes, you can also highlight the word and then change what, like after, once it is in a radial. It's a little tricky because you need to click at the proper place. Make sure that you're clicking on top of a word. And here we'll say, hello, good day. And there you go. And then we have the same design, but with a different word, which is fun. Now, okay, I wanted to make sure that I took some time to show you how I have put everything together that we have learned over the month of June into one project. Now, this is not my final design in Illustrator because I have made some design in Illustrator and then brought it into InDesign. I love InDesign because it's just easier to create a master page. But as you can see here, this is using the halftone effect that we have looked at for type. Again, type, everything is type focus here. Here we have the text wrap that we have looked at last week. Here is the pattern. This is something else. And I'm actually forgetting one thing. What else have we done? Oh yes, the grid. I'm forgetting the most important thing. So again, if I go here and I show the grid, you can see how, oops, the grid here, it helps to just create structure within this spread layout. Or again, a grid can be applied into whatever design that you are making. It could be a poster, a postcard. It could even be something like your social media in order for everything to be aligned. Using grids will be your best friend. Very much the foundation, but it changes the whole vibe of a design. So yeah, this is how you put everything together. And let me show you here the final design in in Acrobat. This is a PDF. And good news, I actually have sent this to the printer this morning, and this will become a newspaper zine. This is issue 1. So here we have designer confessions. So these are all confessions from my freelancing desk. Again, for me, it was very important to create with a full concept in order to dissect it down, in order to create those challenges for you. So as you can see here, we can find the radial feature that we have just witnessed how to do. I've added some firefly images in order to just spice up the full publication. How fun is this? Had a lot of fun with type. As you can see here again, this is the text wrap. The wet hair, I almost did my previous collab battle this morning with Phil with wet hair. Time just flew by and I'm like, ooh, I haven't showered. And as if I just shared this, I guess this was my confession for all of you in this. As you can see again, we have more text wrap here. Again, the halftone type. How cool is this? And how perfect is it for the all-nighters? Because we're kind of feeling that stress. And with this image of the vintage clock, we're just feeling that stress. And that's basically what I'm talking about in this publication. And then derivative concept, which I have to give a massive shout out to a local zine, which is called Nosy Mag, that I'm actually helping this month with their design. And they actually inspired me to build this full concept to then bring that back into these challenges. So, and this here is saying that most of my Adobe Live content that I create is actually made from a real client, and I do strip down a lot of the details, so it's not necessarily traceable, but at the core the inspiration is coming from real work, which I find super cool. And again, we can see we finish on the high note where we have that radial design once again. And then I was a little quirky with the back cover. So this would be at the back of the newspaper and saying, "You survived my confession, and now it's your turn to confess." And here you have some lines in order to write your own confession. Hopefully that the readers will get inspired. And I'm seeing Frank saying, "Really inspiring, cool project by Robert Keys. Congratulations on getting this to print." Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to share creativity with all of you. And I hope that you will have fun making some radial design and that I will be seeing some nice patterns on Discord. I can't wait. And by the way, seeing your projects throughout the month of June was extremely fun. And I love seeing the creativity that comes out from experiences like this, right? I love that we get to share, and just that creativity keeps on going forever and ever. On that, I wish you a wonderful day. Stay tuned for more content on Adobe Live, and I will see you soon. Take care, everyone.